If you've ever tried to set a boundary but struggled to stick to it, there's a good chance the boundary wasn't connected to your values. Because when a boundary is only based on what sounds good, it can feel awkward to enforce, even for yourself. But when it's based on what truly matters to you, it becomes easier to demonstrate, communicate, and protect. If you were like me many years ago, you had no clue what setting boundaries entailed. You kind of had an idea because you knew you didn't want people to take advantage of you. And you knew you probably shouldn't keep giving people unlimited chances when they treated you poorly. But maybe you never actually sat down and asked yourself, what do I need to feel safe and valued? I remember being very nervous about speaking up for myself when someone did something that hurt my feelings or upset me. I was always too afraid that it would turn to this big blowout of an argument with screaming and yelling and everything. And in my mind, nothing was worth having to experience that. I had some true people pleaser tendencies, and my lack of boundaries was causing so much havoc in my friendships and relationships. It was a mess. Today, I want to share one of the best ways to decide what kind of boundaries you need, and that is to base them on your values. Everybody has a core set of values, whether you've slowed down to think about what they are or not. You operate based on your values when you speak, when you interact with others. Even your thoughts and perspectives of the world are all very much so based on your values. So if you ground your boundaries in your values, you're more likely to stick to them yourself and feel more confident in communicating and reinforcing them to others. This is a great place to start if you feel that you've never had strong boundaries. So what are they? If someone asked you right now, what are your values? Could you answer them easily, or will you feel like that deer that's caught in headlights, where not only can you not remember your values, but not even your own name? If it's challenging to do that, let's take a moment here to do a value selection exercise. Here's a list of values. You really can just Google values lists and be able to come up with many different types of lists. But for this exercise, I'm using Brene Brown's Dare to Lead values list, which you can find at her website. I've included a direct link in the description. What I'd like for you to do is review this values list and start by identifying what you feel are your top 10 values in no particular order. Now, in all honesty, I started with a top 20 because it was that difficult for me to narrow down before I got to 10. So here are some questions that you can ask yourself to help you get to that total of 10. What values truly speak to you? What is most important to you in the way you want to live your life? Which of those values do you feel consistently strong about no matter the situation? What do you stand for? When do you feel the most fulfilled? What is most important in life, in your opinion? And another good question to think about is what upsets you the most when you observe society or other people? If it's something that riles you up pretty quickly, that may be a hint that it's a core value of yours. Here's my 10 that I got down to from 20, but the work isn't done yet. Now we're going to make this a little more challenging. I need you to narrow down that list of 10 to 5. Yeah, I know. It's hard, but you got this. I promise you do. Look over those 10. Think about which value can you absolutely not live without. Which 5 seems to be a consistent thread in how you think and act no matter the situation. Another trick which I had to do if you're absolutely struggling in this is to list all 10 and then give them a grade from 1 to 10, with 10 being extremely important and 1 being somewhat important. See which ones are rated the highest to narrow it down to your 5. When I was doing this, I looked at the top 10. I was like, okay, which one of these would I rate a 10 hands down? I started with that, and then I moved on to which one I would rate as a 9, but not quite, a 10. It's definitely a 9, but very close. And before I knew it, I exactly had my top 5. It was that quick. So try that out. Now, you may struggle with this from the perspective of, wait, all these words are kind of values of mine. I don't want it to seem like I don't care about the other ones. But remember, what we're looking for is unshakable root types of values here. What are those deepest set of values for you that it even feels like betrayal to yourself if you don't act on that particular value 24/7? That's what we're looking for, because those values, those are your true compass values for your life. It doesn't mean that you don't care about the other ones, but we're trying to find those unique roots that really describes you at your core. So here's my top 5. Now I'm more than ready to set some boundaries that are value-based. Now, side note, you don't have to have this identified first just to have boundaries, but it will make it a lot easier as you think through your why behind your boundaries, which in turn is going to help you feel more assured and confident in the decisions that you make about your boundaries. Also, if you're freshly new to setting boundaries and have no clue to where to begin, this can help you to at least have an idea, because what I'm going to ask you to do next is to set a boundary that protects each of your values. The more you live your life according to your values, the more secure, confident you're going to feel in being that person. So let's set up some boundaries that can ensure that for you. Here's your first question to ponder as you think about that boundary. That is, what can you commit to doing more or less of to live more in line with that value? What tends to violate, drain, or challenge this value? What is within your control that you can do to protect it so that you are consistently showing up, exhibiting that boundary? Based on my values, I've listed these 5 boundaries, which are actually real current boundaries of my own that I'm following, just to show you as an example. As you can see, they follow a simple format. Because I value blank, I will blank if blank. In fact, I'll walk you through the thought process of my value of authenticity, okay? So authenticity is a value that is important to me, as I feel that you are most fulfilled if you are unapologetically yourself. People don't like someone who is fake. I like people who are open and real, flaws and all, as there's too many people that like to pretend to be something that they're not to protect their ego or for personal gain or manipulative reasons or just because they're a very insecure person. I think it's sad that people are afraid to be themselves solely because of the fear of the reactions of others. And I think that's a horrible way to live, because wouldn't you want a life where you're yourself, and that way you will only have the people who genuinely care about you that's around you? You know, I wouldn't want to be surrounded with people who only like the idea of me or a fake version of me. That seems like a recipe for loneliness in a crowded room. I like sincere people who aren't performing, especially just to get what they want. You know, trust can be built faster with someone who is authentic, to not try to act like they are something that they're not, you know? So that's why that's a big value of mine. So to protect this value, I need to ensure that my actions and words line up. I don't give compliments unless I mean it. I take the time to think through what is the best word choice that I can give in expressing myself so that it represents what I think accurately. I don't even like telling people I'll pray for them if I don't actually pray for them. So as I thought about all these things, I identified this simple boundary. Because I value authenticity, I will always be honest about my opinion if you directly ask me for it. If I follow this boundary, I'll stay true to my value, right? Also, if other people know that this is a boundary for me, they will now know what to expect from me. They can trust I will consistently show up this way. Now, people who don't like this about me, they may not stick around long. And that's okay, because I'd rather have people to only choose to be around me if they feel that they can respect the boundaries I have in place for my life. That in turn protects my peace and my joy. Remember that boundaries outline what you will do because you can only control yourself. So these boundaries show what truly matters to me because it's a reflection of what I value in my life and how I will protect those boundaries, those values within me. Now, is it easy to live your life according to your using boundaries, not all the time, because sometimes with it, there's challenges or discomfort. But I just remind myself why my boundaries matter because of my values. I've caught myself in decisions before where I was like, nah, I can't do that. It may be the easy way, but my values would say, no, I need to do things this way because this is how I believe I should speak or behave. And that reinforces it to me that I need to keep these boundaries. One thing I've learned in this life is that I have never regret making decisions based on my values, but I absolutely will if I ignore my values in my decision making. Your values are your why, so keep them in mind. Now, at this point, you see my top 5 values and you see 5 real boundaries that I have that are aligned to them. Boom. You got boundaries now, friend. Now, of course, the next phase is to share them and to reinforce them, but we'll get to that later. Right now, celebrate your win that you now have 5 value-based boundaries that feel right for you. I hope this was helpful for you, but this is only beginning. You may like the 5 boundaries you created today, but you may also feel like they don't quite cover every area where you need more clarity and protection and structure. In the next video, we'll explore the different types of boundaries so that you can identify where there may still be a gap. Until next time.